Well, welcome back to the channel. We are back at it. We've given a few days for the cement up front here to cure and harden up. We can walk on it just fine. And so our next project here is going to be building the steps up onto the deck from the cement platform. That should be an exciting little project for me. I've never actually built steps, so this is a really interesting learning curve and a way to learn some new skills as I'm doing this. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, we got to run down and get our lumber, and then we will get started with building our steps for our front deck. All right, well, I went down to our local store, hardware store, and I got the lumber that I need. I got four 2x6x8s and a 2x10 by 12, and so we'll cut our stringers off the 2x10, and then we've got our deck boards and the 2x6s. So we'll get this unloaded and we'll start figuring out our measurements. Well, we're gonna have to put our stair project on hold here for a little bit. We've got severe thunderstorms coming in, as you can see. I had to put on a sweatshirt and get things prepared. I'm gonna move some of this stuff out of the way, and we'll get through our thunderstorms, and then we'll pick it right back up. Well, as you can see, we've got nice clear skies. We are past the big storm, and I mean, that was no joke. I'm not used to it. Since we've been here, I have not had points where wind was at 75-mile-an-hour gusts, and it kind of tore up our property a little bit. We lost one tree, and then we also lost some of the fascia on the back side of the shop, which we'll have to repair. The other thing that storm brought was some snow to the mountains here in the summer. That's Montana for you, where one day it'll be 80 degrees and the next day you'll have snow on the mountains. So here we have it. So we're going to get back at it. We're going to start continue on with our steps. One of the first things we have to figure out, there are two measurements we need, and that is the rise and then the run of the step that we're going to be doing. So for reference, when we're talking about the rise, we're talking about from the top of the deck here, where the level's at, to the concrete pad. We're going to need to figure out the distance from there to that on each end, and that I can tell you right now, when we pour the concrete, you can see a little bit of a swoop right here, so we're a little bit higher just right here in the corner. Anyway, we'll determine that as we go here. So we'll measure it up from the concrete to the level on both sides. And the one thing I want to do is I want to put the level out to this last board rather than have it so we have an even number. We're looking at 17 on this side. 17 and a quarter on this end. So 1/4 inch, we'll fudge it and figure it out from there. But that's our rise, and then our actual run will be the distance that our step will come out from here out to here. So we've got to calculate that out, and by that it's a 20, what they call, from what I've researched, is a 27-inch rule, which is the height minus 2 times the run. And what I've figured out here is that I need a 8.5-inch rise and then a 10.5-inch run. And based on that, we're going to need we're going to be cutting out 2 steps in this. So it'll be 1 step up, and then 1 step here, and then up onto the deck. So we'll get busy and measuring that out on our 2x10. So when we do the measurement with our carpenter's square, the thin side is going to be our rise, and our run is going to be here. We're going to set that on based on here. So we said 8.5 for the rise and 10.5 for the run. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to line up our riser with our run on here. And we've got that at 10.5, and this one should be at 8.5. And then we'll do the same thing over here. We'll line this one up at 10.5, and this one up at 8.5. All right, that should give us our 10.5-inch run and our 8.5-inch riser. So we've got those two. All right, so that's the top of our stringer right there. And then we'll figure out our bottom here. All right, and then for the bottom of our stringer, since there's just 2 steps, this bottom one has to be 7 inches. So we'll do that. We got our 7 inches here. And then this is going to be the bottom of our stringer here. So this will be the foot that sits on the cement. Since we're going to be using our circular saw to cut these steps out, they're not going to cut all the way into where we need to go. So we've also got the jigsaw to finish off those cuts. So we'll get our first stringer cut, and then we'll use it as a template for our other 2. All right, and there you have it. We have our first stringer. We'll show you how this goes on there, and then we'll cut out our another 2. All right, this is just a rough fit. As you can see, this is how it's going to sit. And we'll do 3 more along those lines. All right, well, I've got them set up where they're going to go. For right here in between, I'm going to run a 2x4 at the top so that I can anchor into the deck itself. And then with the center one here, I'm going to cut out a 1.5 by 3-inch gap or notch in there for the 2x4. So I'm going to run it straight along the front of that, and so we've got that to do. With the center one, we'll get that notched out, and then we'll attach our 2x4. We know that this gap is 7 foot, so we want from the outside here 7 foot to the outside there 7 foot. So we'll get this measured out and go from there. All right, well, I got these 1x10s here that we've got, and those are going to go on the risers, on the up risers here on the bottom and on that center, and then we'll put our 2x6s across for the steps. We got to get those measured and rip these down, and then we'll start working on getting them installed. All right, now that we've got the laterals up, or the risers up, we'll get the steps, which are going to be 7 feet 2 inches. That gives me a 1 inch overhang on each end. So we'll get all these cut, and then we'll start putting in the steps. Oh, there you have it. I got the steps built. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. That was a strangely not difficult project, but it took a lot of thinking and all that to get that in. Next up, we're going to, probably not today, but I'll get it tomorrow, is stain these things to match the deck. And then we should be good to go on the stairs. So I'll see you tomorrow morning. Seconds for you, but need a little bit of a break. It's a little warm out right now. Like I said, we had thunderstorms one day, and now we're back up to 80 degrees. So a little warm in the afternoon. I'll let this settle, and then I will go ahead and stain it tomorrow. All right, well, we decided to stain. It's the hottest part of the day, of course, because we're not that sharp. But we're going to get this stain and get this project completed. All right, there you have it. We busted another project out. The front stairs are done. Cement's done. Front stairs are done. We will continue on with our projects around the homestead here. What do you think?
I love it. Good job.
There you go. As promised, you got your stairs this week.
I did. Before winter.
All right. Anyway, if you like this type of thing, please remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. And make sure to leave some comments. We love hearing from you. Anyway, thanks for watching.